Today we're going to build the Webviewer app on the Thinkable platform. First thing you need to do is open the template. The template will have a couple files associated with it. You can have the Serena picture and the Steph picture. When we build this app, it's going to have a couple new screens, and on each screen it should pull up a web page for each of these athletes. The first thing we're going to do is build the user interface. To do that, we need to pull out three different row components. So I can just type in here, grab a row component that gives us one, and we want to set the relative size. Actually, we want to set this to 33% because we want three of them. So we got row one, and we are going to relative size 33%, and then we got to pull out one more row, and we want it at relative size 33%, and we're going to pull out one more row, and we want it at relative size 33%. Oh, okay, there we go. So we got three rows there. The next thing we want to do is drag two column components into the top row. So let's get a couple columns going here. So one up in there, and we want the width to be relative size 50%, and then we need one more column, and it's relative size 50%. Alrighty, very good. Next thing we want to do is drag out a couple buttons, and these are the buttons that we're going to use to navigate to the new screens that we're going to create. So we need to pull out two buttons. Put one in column 2, one in column 1, and this one we'll rename it. So we need to rename all of our components that we use in this way. Oh, excuse me, that's going to be the Serena button. And we want to erase the text, and we want to set the background picture to Serena. And it's going to be small first, but we'll change that in a second. The other button here will be the Steph button. And we want to erase the text, and we want to set the background picture to Steph. Alrighty. Next thing we want to do is we need to change the size of the buttons and the images so they fit in the space we have provided. So for each one, so we'll start here on Steph. We want to change the background picture resize. We want it to be stretched, and we want the height and width to fill the container. So it says fit contents, we want fill container. It says fit contents, we want fill container. It's pretty good on Steph. Let's do the same for Serena. We want to stretch, and then we want to fill container for the height and fill container for the width. The next thing we want to do is we want to save the template screen. So we're going to make a couple copies of this exact same screen. We don't want to have to make them all over again. So we're actually gonna just turn our screen here. We have this neat ability to make copies of the screen this way. So the first thing we want to do is rename it. We'll just call this the home screen. And then we want to do this other thing here where it says save screen to my screen. So we're going to click that, and this will be, we can just call it home screen because we're going to copy that one a couple times. Save it. Alrighty. So we want to create a Serena screen next. So we'll click here. This allows us to add screen. We want to copy from my screen, and we want to pick the one that we just did. We just set up the home screen. So we want a new one there. And we now can see that we have two home screens. So we want to rename this one Serena screen. And we want to drag a component here. We want the Webviewer component. Here it is. We're going to drag it into the bottom row here, and we're going to set the URL. And we want a Serena web page, but I'm just going to make this easy for you. If you have the handout or the website, just copy this, Control C or Command C on a Mac, and then Command V into the URL. And when we preview it, it'll pop. Oh, there it is already. Okay, so you can tell a website popped up there. Now we want to make one more screen here. It's a Steph screen, so we want to add a screen. Copy from my screens. We're going to use the home screen. It's already clicked. Copy it. And we're going to rename this one the Steph screen. And we want a web viewer here. And so what are we going to do here? So we got the web viewer, and we got to get this URL. Command C. Command V here, and we got a Steph Curry screen. Alrighty. Next thing we're going to do is program our app. So we want our app to be able to do a couple things. On the home screen, when the Steph button's clicked, it should switch to the Steph screen, and when the Serena button's clicked, it should switch to the Serena screen, and so on. So if we start on the home screen and we go to blocks, we'll pull out the Steph button, and when the Steph button is clicked, we want to go to, we want to navigate to the Steph screen, and when the Serena button's clicked, we want to navigate to the Serena screen. Alrighty, we got the home screen coded. So on the Serena screen, we want to do something slightly different. So on the Serena screen, when Serena is clicked, we want to make sure the web viewer is coming up. So we'll call this to reload, make sure that comes up as it should. And when the Steph button is clicked, we should be able to go to the Steph screen. So navigate here, navigate to the Steph screen. And then our last screen that we need to code up is the Steph screen. So when the Steph button is clicked, we need to reload. And when the Serena button is clicked, we want to navigate to the Serena screen. Now it's under control. Alrighty, so we got that set up. I should probably test out our app now. So we're going to go with a live test. And we'll make this the whole much of the screen as we can. Remember, this is not exactly what your app is going to look like. It's just a way to test it in your browser. It'll look different on your phone. If we go to Serena, Serena pops up with all of her information. And when we go to Steph, Steph pops up with all of his information. So that is the first two parts of our Webviewer app. There's a number of challenges you're going to try going forward. You should be able to build a home screen, or rather a home button that takes you back to the home screen on both the Steph and Serena pages. You're going to build a custom screen where a person can use the text input to put in their own website they want to pop up, and then you can add screens for your favorite person or show or music. We can add all of that in as well. So good luck. Thanks for watching.